in a verbal altercation with somebody. I don't remember who it was, but it doesn't matter. And I was like, "What do you mean you got picked and you didn't? You decided not to go?" I'm like,
Mm.
those are our guys.
Hmm.
Those are people that have slept at our houses. Those are the people that we've been in their weddings and in some of their divorces. You know what I mean? Those are the guys that we bled and we sweat, and you decide that you don't want to go. You'd rather take a rear detachment job in the rear.
Exactly. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
more than anything, and we saw some of that in 2003 because like I said, nobody knew where they were going. So when we got called up, there was a lot of people that suddenly had an excuse why they couldn't go. And then when it turned out, oh, well, they're just going to stateside. Well, oh no, wait, no, I can do that. Yeah, I'll do that. You know,
Yeah. I
and then on this one, it was well, I'm not going to go. It's like I. That's when you really find out who your brothers are.
So what was the train up like, and then what was it when we first hit boots on ground?
Well,
Because what I think because this app will only allow us to do an hour at a time. So I think
uh,
we hit the hour mark, we'll just hang up and then we'll do a part two.
that'll work.
I mean, if you
That'll
have the
work.
time today.
Always, yeah.
Okay,
You
I
kidding
just
me?
want to make sure that because I want your full story to be told. And
That's
you know,
that's awesome.
all right.
Yeah.
So now tell us about train up.
So train up. We were sent to Camp Shelby, Mississippi. In again, we were called up in September, and We all met up at the Marion Armory, and that's where we deployed from and reported to Camp Shelby, Mississippi. And you know, right away, I could tell that we were going to have some problems there. Um, and just quick illustration, I would say probably 80% of our classes began with the phrase, "All right, guys, so when you get to Iraq," and I'd look around and everyone else is just kind of like, "What the fuck?" And me, I'm the guy. I raise my hand, and yes, you specialist, Sarge. Quick question. We're actually not going to Iraq. We're going to Afghanistan. You know, and they would just kind of throw up their hands and be like, "Well, man, I don't have anything for you. I've never been to Afghanistan, but I'll tell you what. Go ahead and sign my sign-in sheet. I'll leave the slides up. Y'all can click through them if you want to, but y'all have a good day. I'm done." And that was literally probably 80% of our classroom training.
And unfortunately, or fortunately, that you're going into the shit. It's not like we're going back on the gates again. This is going to be
Exactly.
real world. This is going to be, 7.62 whizzing by your head, literally, if not other things. And they're just treating this like it's a game.
Exactly. And I will say that our senior leadership did some really good things. They were very sure to make sure we got a lot of trigger time. They made sure we always had plenty of ammo. They made sure that we were familiarized with our weapon systems. Um, and they did the best they could within the constraints of the environment that we were in.
Now I remember like when you were on my tank and you were my loader, you were the master with the 50 cal. If I had, you always had that thing running beautifully. So what was your weapon when you got chose? What were you carrying? What was your weapon of choice?
Well, initially during training, the I guess I kind of skipped a first kind of big step in the whole thing too, in mentioning that when we mobilize as an armor battalion or a combined arms battalion, movement enhanced brigade, whatever we were at the time, we were tankers. And as a tank unit, we have our own assets. We've got our own transportation. We've got our own mechanics. And so when we mobilized, they're like, hey, you're going to Afghanistan. We don't have tanks in Afghanistan. So now you're all infantry. And they took everybody who is not already a 19 kilo or combat 01 squad